All right, now let's map out the key of C on the D string. That's our first step in mastering the notes on a particular string, is mapping out the key of C. But as we do that, we got to tie our mnemonic devices. We got to think of something that's going to help us remember the note's location. All right, so we know this is D already. Now what about this E note? How are we going to remember this is E? Well, how about the E chord? Maybe most of you out there know this is the E chord, right? You know, if let's say you didn't know this was the E chord, right? Well, now that you understand the construction of the chromatic scale, then you would know that E is a whole step away from D, okay? So now let's move on to the F note here at the 3rd fret. Okay, so how are we going to remember this as F? Well, we could tie F's location to E because it's a half step away, or we could think of the F chord if you know this is the F chord. All right, now I'll bring up these chords because oftentimes I find that students, they learn chords, right, but they don't know the notes in the chord. They just know this is called F, right, and they don't realize, well, this is the F note, okay, or this is an E, you know, and they don't realize there's an E hidden in there, right there. You know, they might know this is E, but they don't realize this is E, so that's why I bring out the chord thing. Okay, so moving on, what about the G note? How are we going to know this is G? Well, this is where we tune the guitar. All right, and hopefully most of you out there know the old school way of tuning guitar, right? Okay, so what about here, the A note here at the 7th fret? Well, remember earlier we spoke of the octave is here at the 7th fret, the octave of the lower adjacent string, right? Okay, is always here at the 7th fret except on the B string, okay? Now, you know, if that doesn't work for you, maybe, you know, whenever I was trying to think of mnemonics on the different strings and I was looking at A7, I'm like, man, you know, besides the octave thing, you know, what else could I use? I just typed in A7 in Google and I came up with the Audi A7 sports car. So maybe that would really stick out in your mind and, you know, help you more to remember that A is here at the 7th fret, the Audi A7 sports car. Okay, all right, moving right along. Here we have B at the 9th fret. All right, what about a B9 vitamin? Okay, that'll help you remember B at the 9th fret. Okay, now C, we're just going to tie C's location to B, all right, because we know that C is just a half step away from B, all right, and then we know this is D, okay, and then C is just going to be a whole step down from the D note, all right. So now once we've mapped out the key of C and we've come up with our mnemonic devices, again, we are going to exercise the note recognition by using the cycle of diatonic fourths in the key of C. All right, so that's going to go like this. C, F, B, E, A, D, G. All right, so once you've done that and you're comfortable with where all the natural notes are, then you want to practice the order of flats, which is B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, and G flat. All right, and you're simply, you know, because you know where the natural notes are, we know that the flat notes are just going to be a half step below. All right, so now we're going to do the order of flats. B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, and G flat. All right, now we put everything together using the cycle of perfect fourths. Okay, that's going to be C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B, E, A, D, G. All right. So hopefully you've got the D string mapped out. Let's move on to the G string.